Once the present assembly in the court of Dashratha had approved of Rama's being made the next king, everyone present in the king's assembly touched their forehead with palms folded like lotus buds. They wholeheartedly approved of Dashratha's proposal. The king asked Vasishtha and his pupils to gather the necessary material for performing the ceremony in the sacred month of Chaitra, marked by pleasant weather and fresh blooms in gardens owing to the arrival of Basant. Valmiki is weaving nature, its scenery, arrival of seasons into the narrative like any great poet. The Maharishi asked his assistants, hurry and gather the material goods for the worship of the gods, such as golden utensils, herbs, garlands of white flowers, puffed rice, honey and ghee in separate containers. Arrange for new clothes, chariots, different types of weapons and armies to parade on the occasion. We require elephants with majestic and auspicious attributes, a white canopy, and 100 golden pitchers glistening like flames in a fire. We need a bull with gilded horns and a lion's skin. Everything must reach the king's Yagashala before sunrise. Further, decorate all the doors in the city and the gates of the palace with garlands. Prepare for a feast using milk, curd and ghee. The food should be sufficient for hundreds of Brahmins who will attend the ceremony and chant the sacred mantras. Put colorful flags on high poles all across the city, said Vasishtha. Sprinkle water on the roads to settle the dust. The men who can play on musical instruments and the women who can dance must be present in suitable finery at the inner entrance of the palace. At this stage, writes Valmiki, Dashratha's confidante Sumantra was asked to bring the prince to the assembly. He soon returned with Rama riding a glistening chariot. Nearing the court, Rama alighted from the chariot and walked with the majesty of an elephant. In the king's presence, the prince bowed in salutation with folded hands. Rama's presence attracted everyone's attention and caught even his father's eye. Dashratha held his son's hands as he bowed down to him in greeting and warmly embraced him. The king beckoned his son to sit by his side on a golden throne studded with precious stones. Seated there, Rama looked resplendent in his glory like that of the Meru mountain under a cloudless sky. What follows is the remarkable narrative of the king's duties, written more than 5,000 years ago. It also shows how advanced the civilization was in Bharatvarsha. Addressing the prince, the king said, Rama, you were born to my senior queen Kaushalya, and you have qualities superior to mine. Not only are you the dearest to me, but your attributes have endeared you to your people as well. Tomorrow I shall anoint you as the Yuvaraj of the kingdom. Despite being sure of your qualities and abilities, Dashratha continued, I would like to offer a few words of advice for your benefit. These will enable you to be humbler than ever before and restrain your desires to administer justice impartially. Mark the words, to administer justice impartially. Take care of the legitimate interests of your ministers, officials, commanders and soldiers. Mind you, the lowliest are included, the soldiers. Your subjects' welfare should be your priority, Rama. The king who commands a treasury full of wealth, an armory full of armaments, and who is a master of all that is necessary to run a state, is a source of happiness to his well-wishers, just like Amrit was to the Devatas. The ruler who holds his ministers, commanders and praja dear to him commands their sincere loyalty. Therefore, my son, control your thoughts and follow the correct practices befitting a ruler. Mark the emphasis on correct practices. Valmiki continues Going to his father, Rama left for his apartments. However, even after this happy event, Dashrath was restless. He recalled Rama within a short time and asking him to enter the inner chambers, addressed him once again. Some more instruction had to be imparted. I am too old to continue to be the ruler. I am anointing you as my successor because all my subjects desire me to do so. A democracy of its own type, practiced in those times. At night I have frightening dreams. It makes me think my end is not far. You must be anointed before anything untoward happens to me, or I change my mind. My son, human beings are unstable by nature in taking their decisions. Go back and fast with your wife. Sleep on a bed made of kusha grass and abstain from physical contact with her tonight. Interesting. No sex tonight. I fear unforeseen obstructions in the course of performing this good deed. I desire that your anointment takes place before Bharat returns from his maternal uncle's house. Dashrath had his fears. He knew there could be a challenge from his favorite queen, Kekai, and her son, Bharat. I have no doubt that Bharat is a balanced person, said Dasharatha, and that his conduct is that of a man who lives by principles of truth. He has conquered his desires. He is kind, gentle, dutiful, and he has a high regard for you, Rama. However, in my view, anyone can try to influence the way he thinks at any time. Rama heard his father's words in silence and departed for his mother's chambers. Kaushalya was engrossed in prayers for the well-being of her family, accompanied by Lakshmana, his mother Sumitra and Sita. Kaushalya, who had waited for this day for a long time, shed tears of joy and embraced Rama. In a voice overwhelmed with emotion, she said, Rama, my son, Chiranjeevi Bhava, may you live long. May there be no obstruction in your path. Listening to his mother's blessings, Rama touched her feet and addressed Lakshmana, who was standing nearby. Thus, brother, you are my conscience. You will assist me in looking after this kingdom. I want to enjoy the fruit of this elevation in equal measure. Rama now moved over to his own chambers that had been painted white like spotless clouds. Mark the simile. Soon after his arrival, Vasishtha came to see him. Rama personally received the sage with great humility, uttered a few words of welcome to the Guru. The latter repeated the advice that had been offered by Dashrath that Ram and Sita should ritually fast until the next day. Rama's mention echoed with the joyous voices of the numerous men and women. It looked pleasing to the eyes like a pond full of lotus flowers and in full bloom. Abuzz with delirious birds singing melodiously. Colorful flags were hoisted in the lawns and gardens attached to the mansions, and the lanes throughout the city were swept and sprinkled with water. At Maharishi Vasishtha departed, Rama bathed and started the ritual fast in the company of his beautiful wife. With a strong control over their senses, partaking a little of the Yajna Prasad, maintaining total silence, and concentrating their thoughts on Sri Narayana Dev, Rama and Sita lay down to sleep on kusha mats in the Vishnu temple. Rama woke up with the first rays of the sun and, listening to lilting prayers sung by the court singers, sat in meditation for his morning prayers. There was great rejoicing in Ayodhya, writes Valmiki. The entire city and its people were wide awake in the early hours of the morning. The traders had opened their shops early as in festive times to sell goods. Dancers performed in the street corners while singers sang songs to the sheer delight of listeners. The people gathered in homes and at the town squares animatedly talked of Rama's Abhishek. The streets decorated with flowers and incense sticks, lighted at various places, bathed the city in sweet fragrances. With roaring hordes assembled to witness the Raja Abhishek, Ayodhya resembled Indrapuri. Nobody knew at that time that the tables would be turned the next day. There was a tragedy in the waiting, and those characters were very strong in the palace of the most favorite queen, Kaikeyi. But that is for the next video. Thank you for listening to me, visiting this site. Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram.